How can you start accepting the cards that this world deals you? One way that I like to view this and how it helps me accept the cards that I am dealt is, for example, let's say you wanted to go on a hike and you ended up not going on the hike. It was really nice out and you decided to go to the beach. And later that night, you had a good day. You had a good time at the beach, but you're thinking about that view you could have had on that hike, and how you've been trying to lose weight, and going on the hike would have been good for burning calories and fat loss, and then you start regretting to yourself. You're like, I should have went on the hike. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. But your day went good at the beach, and you don't think about all the potential hazards with the other activities that could have happened partaking in those activities. So for to keep with the example, say instead of the beach, you decide to go on your hike, and you go on the hike, and you have to drive there, and you end up getting in a car accident on your way there. If that happened, you would say, "Oh, I should have just went to the beach. This would have been such a better day. Now I gotta get my car fixed, potentially get a new car, potentially being your fault, having to, you know, I mean, if it's your fault, obviously it's worse than not being your fault. Um, and all the, pains and hassles that come with getting in a car accident. Or say you don't get in a car accident and say you make it to the trailhead, and you start hiking, and you twist your ankle on a rock, and then you got to get carried down the mountain, and your ankle's all busted up. You actually ended up breaking your foot, and now you're in a cast in a boot for like a month, and you're like, I should have just went to the beach. This would have been, now your weight loss is really going to be hard to do now, because you're not able to get those steps in like you were, which is crucial part, I believe, in weight loss. I mean, obviously calorie deficit, but it helps getting your steps in. So, we don't think about the potential things that could have happened in the other circumstances that we didn't do. You say, "Oh, I wish I ended up doing that," but you don't think about what could have potentially happened. You had a good day already, but you think, well, maybe it would have been better if I did that other thing. This day was good. I'm content with this day, but it wasn't like excellent. So I wish I did that. But I think if you think about the potential things that might have happened in that other instance, it can help you immensely, not regret not doing it, because in life, we truly do need to choose our regrets. You can't be in two places at the same time. So no matter what you do, there's probably going to be a little bit of regret there. Say, you have the opportunity to go to an amusement park, or you're supposed to go to the gym. If you go to the gym, you're going to be at the gym thinking, why'd I go to the gym? I mean, my buddies all went to the amusement park. I would have had a good time, made good memories, yada yada yada. But then if you went to the amusement park, you'd be thinking, oh, I should have. I went to the gym. I've been slacking lately. I've been skipping a couple days. I haven't been on it like I've been in the past. And I told myself I'd go today, and now I'm gonna feel bad. And if I end up going when we get back, I'm not gonna get a good night's rest. And it's in both scenarios you're gonna have regrets, and it just depends on how you view them, because you don't want to dwell on the what if, the could have been. You want to dwell on the good. What happened that was good, or what happened or what didn't happen that would have been potentially bad. You know, with you, there's a story in the book, The Rules for a Night, that I really like, and it talks about how, long story short, one of the knights' son, or it starts off his horse. One of the knights' horse, one of his horses runs away, and then his neighbors come over and they say, "Oh, like how unlucky," and he says, "We will see." And the next day, the horse brings back two other horses, and the neighbors say, "Oh, how lucky you are." He says, "We will see." And then later that day, his son is riding on one of the wild horses, and it bucks him off, and he lands and breaks his leg. And the neighbors come by and they say, "How unlucky," and he says, "We will see." And then the next day or week or so on, sometime in the future, the kid was in a little soldier's, like he was part of like a soldier thing, um and they come by and they're going off, and he can't go because he has a broken leg. And the neighbors come by and they say, "How unlucky," and he says, "We will see." And then the next day, all the people in the army, all the soldiers die, and they say, "How lucky you are that your son has a broken leg and he wasn't able to go." And he says, "We will see." And obviously the point of that is we will see. You don't know what this situation holds for you in the future. It's impossible to know. And the only way that you should go about it is with, I don't want to say happiness, but with, content, and just realizing that it's too soon to tell how this situation is gonna look in the reflection, in like a 20-year time frame. You could get broken up with, and in the moment it seems like it's the end of the world, and it seems like your life's over, and it doesn't feel good, and you're just sad, and you don't think it's ever going to work out for you ever again. And then you look back on it from a long time frame, and it's just, you can't know in the moment on how things are going to play out in the long run. So you don't want to be too quick to judge this as being good or bad, because once you start giving it that label, if you give it, "Oh, that is bad because of blank reason," then you have a bad internal feeling about it, and it doesn't help you with anything. Worrying is one of the biggest waste of times, because it doesn't help you do anything. Worrying doesn't help you solve the problem, doesn't help you come up with a solution, doesn't improve your work. You don't work better when you're worrying. At least I don't. I'm pretty sure most people don't. So it's just, you have to go into things and look back on things in such a short time frame and say, "I don't know how this is going to develop in the long run." And also, I don't know what would have happened if this didn't happen. If I ended up going to a hike instead of going to the beach, I don't know what would have happened. I could have gotten mauled by a mountain lion. I could have got an accident on the way there. I could have broke my leg. I could have done so many things. I could have underprepared and starved or got lost. And it's so hard to say. So you just gotta say we will see to a lot of things in life, and not just have so much regret, and have not just think that it's the end of the world because you didn't do blank. You doing this one activity is not going to give you everlasting happiness. It's not that deep, no matter what it is, unless it's a true internal changing. But if it's an external situation, if you did it or you didn't do it, it's really not the end of the world, because that wasn't going to be the one thing to push you over and give you eternal happiness. So there's really no reason to dwell on it in a negative state, because you don't know how it's going to play out, and you just have to say, we will see.